Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you have been following this series, you must know that up to this point we have been using Django Basic Authentication. That means that whenever we wanted to access our API, we needed to log in with our Django superuser credentials through the Django admin. And we did it in the previous video, right? While this was working fine in the development, it's not really practical for the real world projects. Now, the question comes in your mind, that is why? Because Basic Authentication keeps sending your username and password with every single request. This is less secure and not scalable. Just imagine you have built a mobile app or a large platform. You don't want to send your actual credentials every time a user interacts with your API, right? So that's where the JWT authentication comes in. JWT stands for JSON Web Token. Instead of sending your username and password repeatedly, you log in once, get a secure token, and then use that token for all your API requests. This is safer, faster, and much more practical for modern application. So now we are going to upgrade our project and add JWT authentication using Django REST Framework-simplejwt, which will give us the real-world production-ready authentication system. So without further delay, let's get started. So open your project and let's create the new app to handle all the authentication. I'm calling this app name OAuth and the app has been created. So these are the all files we have got inside that. This is views.py and this is everything. Now, since we have made the app, we need to add the app inside the install app settings.py, right? So in the install app, let me add the app name, which is OAuth. So let's set the name and we are done adding the name. Now we install Django REST Framework-simplejwt, which gives us everything we need for token-based authentication. So we're writing this on terminal and we're installing this. So it was already satisfied. Okay, fine. So then after doing that, we'll go to the settings.py and then we will add this authentication, which is REST Framework SimpleJWT authentication. I'm keeping the basic on the side by side. Next, we need to add the login and refresh token endpoints in our main project users.py, but I can't import this. I will tell you later why we can't import it. Now, before that, let's just make our views.py. So inside our OAuth views.py, I'm just importing all the necessary libraries, and now I'm creating user serializer. A serializer helps us convert complex data like Django models into JSON and vice versa. So inside the meta class, I'm specifying that the serializer works with the user model. And in the field, I want the user ID, username, and password. And for the extra quirks, I'm adding the password to the write only true. That means that the password can be sent when creating a user, but it will never be shown in API responses for security reasons. Now in the create method, I override create so the raw password sent by the client is never sorted as plain text. Instead, we call create user or set password, which hashes the password properly before saving the user to the database. This is essential for security. And I'm returning the user. Now, finally, I am making view called user register view using Django REST Framework Create API view. This view will allow us to send a post request with a username and password. And it will then use our serializer to validate the data and create a new user in the database. Let's move forward to the problem we were having in the ULs.py. We couldn't import this library, that is our REST framework SimpleJWT, because we haven't installed our package in our virtual environment where we are doing everything. So I'm activating the virtual environment. So after activating this, I am installing the package. So let's install the package. Package is getting installed, and now let's refresh it and it is working. So I'm adding the TokenObtainPairView and all the routes that we need, and we're done. Now we need to add this route in OAuth urls.py file. So let's make first our urls.py file in OAuth app, and I'm adding all the routes here, which is user register view. Now let's run the app and see if it's working. I got the error. What's the error? So inside the views.py, we need to add this, save, and it is working. Let's go to our API routes, which is token, I guess. Yeah, so we can get this by sending the credentials. I can get my refresh and the access token. So let's go to the refresh token routes. Here we can put our refresh token and we can get a new token. So let me just copy paste the previous refresh token, and I'm going back to the route and putting the refresh token here to get a new access token.